What if you could live to be 200 years old? What if science held the key to unlock the fountain of youth? Just imagine a world where our lifespans are not merely 70, 80 or even 90 years, but extended to centuries. A world where old age is not synonymous with frailty, but instead a phase of life marked by wisdom, vitality and vigor. This is the quest for longevity, a pursuit that has captivated humanity since time immemorial. From the alchemists of the Middle Ages who sought to concoct the elixir of life, to the cutting-edge biotech labs of today, the quest for longevity has been a constant drumbeat in the symphony of human progress. It's a testament to our innate desire to push the boundaries of what is possible, to defy the laws of nature, and to seek answers to life's most profound questions. As we journeyed through the centuries, our understanding of longevity has evolved. We've learned that it's not just about adding more years to life, but about adding more life to those years. It's about health span, not just lifespan. It's about living longer, yes, but also living better. Enter the 21st century, an era where science fiction begins to feel a lot like science fact. The field of cell biology, once shrouded in mystery, has now become a beacon of hope in our quest for longevity. We've begun to unravel the complex mechanisms that govern aging at the cellular level, and in doing so, we've stumbled upon a tantalizing prospect. Imagine the ability to rejuvenate cells, to turn back the biological clock, to restore the vitality of youth. Sounds like a pipe dream? Not anymore. Recent developments in cell biology have opened up a potential path to achieving this age-old dream. This path is based on a groundbreaking science that won the Nobel Prize. As we delve into the realm of cell biology, we encounter this groundbreaking science known as partial cell reprogramming. Our bodies are made up of trillions of cells, each with their unique function. But what happens when these cells start to age? Just as the pages of a well-thumbed book begin to yellow and fray with time, so too do our cells undergo a process of aging. This cellular aging, or senescence, is a natural part of life, but it's also a key player in the grander theatre of our overall aging process. Each cell in our body is a bustling microcosm of activity, packed with tiny machines known as proteins that keep everything running smoothly. However, as we age, our cells face a multitude of stresses. Exposure to toxins, genetic errors, and even the simple wear and tear of everyday life can all contribute to cellular damage. This damage, if left unchecked, can lead to a loss of cellular function. Cells may become less efficient at their jobs, struggle to repair themselves, or even start behaving abnormally. This decline in cellular health is a major contributor to the signs of aging we see in our bodies, from wrinkles to more serious conditions like heart disease and Alzheimer's. But the plot thickens. Aging isn't just about damage, it's also about how our cells respond to that damage. You see, cells have their own intricate defense system. When a cell detects damage, it can enter a state of senescence, a kind of deep sleep, where it stops dividing and starts releasing signals to alert the immune system. However, if too many cells enter this state, and the immune system can't clear them out, they can build up in our tissues, causing inflammation and further contributing to aging and disease. Now, imagine if we could turn back the clock on these cells, restoring them to their youthful state. This is the promise of partial cell reprogramming. Let's glimpse into a future where we might not just slow the aging process, but actually reverse it. But how does it work? In 2006, a scientist named Shinya Yamanaka made a discovery that would change the face of biology. He found a way to turn back time. This is not a science fiction story, but rather the birth of partial cell reprogramming. Yamanaka, a humble scientist from Japan, unlocked a secret that cells had been guarding for billions of years. He discovered that mature cells could be coaxed into reverting to their youthful, flexible state, a condition he described as induced pluripotent stem cells, or iPSCs. In the body, cells have specific roles. A heart cell pulses, a brain cell transmits information, and a liver cell detoxifies. Each cell is like an actor dedicated to its part in the grand play of life. But what if an actor wants to change roles? In nature, this is impossible. However, Yamanaka found an exception to this rule. He identified 4 key genes that, when activated, could convince a mature cell to forget its role and become an iPSC. It's like giving the cell a fresh script, allowing it to audition for any part in the body. This is the magic of induced pluripotency. Imagine, if you will, a body damaged by disease or age. What if we could replace worn-out cells with fresh ones? What if we could heal wounds that currently resist treatment? What if we could renew the body from the inside out? This is the promise of partial cell reprogramming. However, like all great discoveries, it came with its challenges. The early techniques were inefficient and carried a risk of creating unwanted cells, including cancerous ones. But Yamanaka and other scientists didn't stop there. They continued refining, optimizing, and today we can generate iPSCs with relative ease and safety. This revolutionary discovery won Yamanaka the Nobel Prize and ushered in a new era of regenerative medicine. It's not an overstatement to say that his work has set the stage for a future where we might control our own biology, rejuvenate our bodies, and perhaps even conquer aging itself. The implications of partial cell reprogramming are vast and potentially transformative. The possibilities are staggering, and the science behind them is as fascinating as it is complex. But let's break it down. At its core, partial cell reprogramming is about turning back the clock, but not in the way you might think. It's not about making 80 the new 20, but rather about making 80 healthier, more resilient, more vibrant. It's about adding life to years, not merely years to life. Consider the diseases that plague our later years: Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, heart disease, and many forms of cancer. These conditions are, at their heart, diseases of aging. As our cells get older, they accumulate damage, and this damage can lead to disease. But what if we could rewind the clock on our cells? What if we could make them young again, free of the damage that comes with time? This is the promise of partial cell reprogramming. But it's not just about disease. The potential applications of partial cell reprogramming extend further. Imagine wounds healing faster, bones mending as if they were young again, skin retaining its elasticity and glow well into our twilight years. It's about giving the body the ability to repair and regenerate itself, just as it did when it was young. Of course, the road to realizing this potential is not without its obstacles. The science is still young, and there are many questions to be answered. How do we ensure that the process is safe, that it doesn't lead to unwanted side effects like cancer? How do we control the process, making sure it happens only when and where it's needed? These are the challenges that scientists in the field are grappling with. But they are not insurmountable. With every passing day, we're learning more about our cells, about how they age, and about how we might be able to intervene in this process. While the journey towards unlocking the fountain of youth is still fraught with challenges, the promise of partial cell reprogramming gives us hope that it may one day be possible. What does the future hold for longevity? As we delve into this question, we are faced with a world of possibilities, all anchored by the groundbreaking science of partial cell reprogramming. The potential impact of this revolutionary procedure on society is immense. Imagine a world where aging is not seen as an inevitable decline, but rather as a process that can be slowed down, paused, or even reversed. A world where age-related diseases such as Alzheimer's, heart disease, and diabetes are things of the past. This is not a fantasy, but a potential future that could be realized with the advancement of partial cell reprogramming. The ethical considerations surrounding partial cell reprogramming are as profound as the science itself. If we can extend life, should we? And if so, how far should we go? Who gets to decide? These are questions society must grapple with as we move closer to this new age of longevity. It's also crucial to remember that science is a journey, not a destination. The Nobel Prize-winning discovery of partial cell reprogramming is a monumental step, but it's just one step on a path that stretches far beyond our current horizon. Continued research and innovation are essential in this field. Our understanding of cells, aging, and the mechanisms of life itself are still evolving. There are many more mysteries to unravel, challenges to overcome, and discoveries to be made. So, as we stand at the dawn of this promising new era, let's embrace the potential, navigate the ethical landscape, and continue to push the boundaries of what is possible. For it's through this spirit of exploration and discovery that we will continue to reshape our understanding of longevity and life itself. The quest for longevity continues, and while we may not have all the answers yet, one thing is certain. The future of aging is looking brighter than ever thanks to science.